Hello everyone, I'm Paul and this is problem 486. Predict the winner. This is a medium problem and the key to solve it is dynamic programming, so let's start. We are given an integer array nouns and two players are playing a game with this array, player 1 and player 2. So let's say that we are given this input. In each turn, the player takes a number from either the start or the end of the array, and the goal is to get the maximum number of points after taking all the elements. We have to return true if player 1 can win or die, or false otherwise. So player 1 starts. We can take either this element or this element. Let's say that we take number 2. Now the score here is 2 and we continue with player 2. We can take either this element or this element, and given that player 2 is playing optimally, well, we take this element. Now the score for player 2 is 5 and we only have one element remaining for player 1, which is 1. 1 plus 2 is equal to 3, so the final score for player 1 is 3. But we have one more scenario. What if we start by taking this element with player 1? Well, now the score is 1, we continue with player 2, here we play optimally, so we take the 5, here the score is 5, next we have a 2 with player 1, so the final score here is 3. In both scenarios, the score of player 1 is smaller than the score of player 2, which means that we have to return false. So the main idea is the following. We start from player 1 and we have two choices. We don't know what's best. We only know that we need to get the maximum number of points with player 1, so maybe we have to take this element or maybe we have to take this one. Now, given that we don't know what's best, we can explore every possible scenario. So here we have two choices. We can pick either 1 or 2. If we pick 1, next player 2 can pick either 5 or 2. If we pick 2, next P2 can pick either 1 or 5. And for the final level, if we come from this scenario, we have to pick 2. If we come from this scenario, we have to pick 5 and so on. For example, if we decide to pick 2 with player 1, then player 2 can pick either 1 or 5, and if player 2 picks 1, for example, then we have to pick 5, and so on. So if we are looking at this from the player 1 point of view, here the total score would be 1. At this level, in this scenario, the score would be 2 plus 1 meaning 3. Here it would be 5 plus 1 meaning 6. Here it would be 5 plus 2 meaning 7, and here it would be 1 plus 2 meaning 3. So maybe you are thinking that we can take 7 points with player 1, and this is technically correct if we take these two elements, but remember that player 2 is playing optimally. So if we pick a 2, now we are in this scenario, and player 2 will pick a 5 because this player is playing optimally, so after this player picks a 5, we have to pick a 1. So in this scenario, the total score will be 3. We will analyze this from unique elements and expand the logic to the sides. So we are solving small subproblems and using these results to solve larger subproblems. This is the definition of dynamic programming. So we start with 2 pointers, left and right. They are at indices 0 and 2, meaning the last index. And we have this scenario first. We have two choices. We can take either this element or this element. If we decide to take this one, the balance up to this point would be given by the current element that we are taking, 1, minus the scenario that we are missing because of this decision. Why? Well, if we decide to take this element, for example, we are allowing player 2 to take this element, okay? So we need to subtract the scenario that we are missing because of the current decision. The next question is, how do we get this number? Well, we need to explore next levels. Next here, we are taking this element, so left is 0 plus 1, meaning 1. We are looking at these two elements, and we have two choices again. We can take either this element or this element. If we decide to take this one, well, the balance at this point would be given by the current value minus the scenario that we are missing because of this decision. So, how do we get this number? Well, we explore the next level. We move left one step to the right, and now left is equal to right. Given that we are trying to get the maximum possible result, if we only have one element left, the most intelligent thing that we can do is to take this element. So whenever we find the leaf, we can just return the element corresponding to this leaf, which in this case is 2. Here we have another leaf, so from here we return nums at index 1, meaning 5. From here we return 5, and from here we return 1. So going back to this scenario, we are looking at these 2 elements, and we have 2 choices. If we decide to take the element to the left, next we are at 1 plus 1 regarding left, so we are looking at this scenario. Here the current balance would be given by the current value 5 minus what we are missing because of the current decision, which is 2. So here we put 2. What if we decide to take this element instead? Well, now the balance would be 2 minus the scenario that we are missing because of this decision, which is right here, 5. 5 minus 2 is equal to 3, and 2 minus 5 is equal to minus 3. So what value should we use here? What are we missing because of this decision? Well, the maximum between 3 and minus 3. So here we put a 3. And 1 minus 3 is equal to minus 2. And this minus 2 makes sense because if we decide to take this element, meaning this one, next we are missing this 5. Okay, remember that the maximum between 3 and minus 3 is 3, so we are missing this 5. Player 2 is taking this, and that's why here we end up with minus 2. Now, regarding the right branch, here left is 0 and right is 2, so we are looking at this. And let's say that we decide to pick this element. The balance in this scenario would be 2 minus what we are missing because of this decision. So we move the right pointer, which means that now we are in this scenario. So we have 2 elements, these 2, and we have 2 choices again. If we pick the element to the left, the balance would be 1 minus what we are missing because of this decision, meaning a 5, and the result is minus 4. If we pick 5 instead, the balance will be 5 minus what we are missing because of this decision, meaning 1. 5 minus 1 is equal to 4. So what number do we receive here? Well, the maximum between minus 4 and 4, which is 4. So 2 minus 4 is equal to minus 2. And finally, the maximum number between minus 2 and minus 2 is minus 2. So the final result here would be minus 2. Given that the final balance is a negative number, and level 0 corresponds to player 1, here player 2 wins. So we have to return false. There's no way to win with player 1. And one final thing that's worth mentioning is that, as you can see here, we are repeating states. So if we want to avoid repeated work, we can process these states only once and store these results, meaning cache them. By doing this, we make sure that our function is efficient enough. So now with all of this, let's go with the code. First, we can build the recursive function and we need to cache this. So we do this in Python and now we will call this dp. This takes 2 pointers, left and right, and here we can say if left is equal to right, we are standing at the leaf, so we can just return nums at either left or right. If we are here, we have 2 choices. We can pick either the left element or the right element. So what if we pick the left element? Well, now the balance is nums at left minus what we are missing because of this decision. So here we need to recursively call dp with left plus 1. We are moving only this pointer, and right stays as it is. What if we pick the right element? Well, now the balance would be nums are minus dp at left stays as it is, and we need to subtract 1 from right. And finally, we want to return the maximum among left and right. So that's it for the function. Now we can go down here and say that n is the length of nums, and we can return a call to dp. Left is initially 0 and right is n minus 1. So if this is larger or equal to 0, meaning if player 1 wins or we have a tie, we want to return true, else we return false. So we can return this greater or equal to 0. If this is true, we return true, else we return false. Let's submit this and see if it works. As you can see, this works and it's very efficient. So if you found this useful, please drop a like, subscribe, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.